Join me as I dive into some of the scariest stalker stories from the most unexpected places. Can I handle what I uncover? You think you know the typical stalker story, right? Guy meets girl, guy gets obsessed, guy starts showing up everywhere girl goes. But what about the stories that don't fit that mold? The ones that take place in the most unexpected, the most ordinary, the most mundane locations. Those are the ones that really get under my skin. I mean, think about it. You're walking through the grocery store, grabbing some milk, and suddenly you feel like you're being watched. You turn around, and there's someone staring at you. Or you're at the gym, trying to get in a good workout, and you notice someone lingering around your treadmill. Those are the moments that make your skin crawl. But what happens when those moments turn into full-blown stalking cases? When the person who's watching you starts showing up everywhere you go, no matter how hard you try to shake them off? That's when things get really scary. Being stalked is one of the most terrifying experiences you can go through. It's a constant sense of fear, of being on edge, of never knowing when the person is going to show up next. And the worst part is, it can happen to anyone. You don't have to be famous, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be beautiful. All you have to be is in the wrong place at the wrong time, and suddenly you're a target. Imagine walking down the street, feeling like you're being watched, and then seeing the person across the way staring at you. Imagine getting messages on your phone, messages that seem harmless at first, but then start to get more and more aggressive. Imagine showing up to work and seeing the person sitting outside your office waiting for you. That's what stalking is like. It's a constant sense of fear, of dread, of uncertainty. And it's not just the physical fear, it's the emotional toll it takes on you. You start to doubt yourself, start to wonder if you're overreacting, start to feel like you're going crazy. But here's the thing, you're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're just trying to survive. And that's what makes stalking so insidious. It's not just about the physical harm that can be done. It's about the emotional manipulation, the psychological games that stalkers play. So let's dive into some of the most chilling stalker stories from unexpected places. From the small town where everyone knows everyone, to the big city where you think you can blend in. From the coffee shop where you grab your morning coffee, to the park where you take your lunch break. These are the stories that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about stalking. In a small town in the Midwest, a woman started noticing a strange man lurking around her neighborhood. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but then she started seeing him everywhere. At the grocery store, at the park, even outside her bedroom window. It wasn't until she caught him taking pictures of her that she realized she was being stalked. In a busy city, a man started noticing a woman following him everywhere he went. At first, he thought it was just a coincidence, but then she started showing up at his work, at his gym, even at his favorite bar. It wasn't until he saw her watching him from across the street that he realized he was being stalked. At a popular coffee shop, a barista started noticing a customer who would come in every day and stare at her. At first, she thought it was just a crush, but then he started leaving her gifts, showing up at her house, even sending her messages online. It wasn't until she got a restraining order that she realized she was being stalked. These are just a few examples of the creepy stalker stories that can happen in the most unexpected places. But there's one story that really stands out. One story that will make your skin crawl. It was a typical summer day when a young woman started noticing a strange man following her. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but then she started seeing him everywhere. At the beach, at the park, even outside her apartment. It wasn't until she caught him breaking into her car that she realized she was being stalked. But here's the thing. The stalker wasn't just some creep off the street. It was her own neighbor, someone she had trusted, someone she had considered a friend. And that's what makes this story so chilling. It's not just about the stalking itself. It's about the manipulation, the deceit, the betrayal. As I dive deeper into this story, I realize just how twisted it is. The way the stalker manipulated the victim, the way he played on her emotions, the way he made her doubt her own sanity. It's a story that will leave you breathless. A story that will make you question everything you thought you knew about stalking. But even though this story is intense, it's also a reminder that stalking can happen to anyone, anywhere. It's a reminder that we need to be aware of our surroundings, that we need to trust our instincts, that we need to take action when we feel like we're being watched. So let's recap the stories we've shared today. From the small town to the big city, from the coffee shop to the park, these are the stalker stories that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about stalking. Remember, stalking is a serious crime that can happen to anyone, anywhere. So stay aware, stay vigilant, and never hesitate to speak out if you feel like you're being watched. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of stalking. If you have a story to share, please leave it in the comments below. And if you're looking for more eerie content, be sure to check out my next video on personal safety tips.